In circumstances when people are disempowered, they believe that the solutions are outside themselves. So the citizen believes so, her elected councillor believes so, her elected MP believes so, even many people in government seem to believe so. I believe myself, the biggest challenge of our time is to resocialize ourselves, to get out of that bondage that I would almost call it slavery, really. It is bondage. We are in prison, in the mind and in the spirit. My father died when I was a small boy. And we grew up with a very strong sense of self-belief that you didn't really have to be the richest person in the village, in this village, to be considered worthwhile. When I ran for public office to be elected Member of Parliament for Laikipia West, it was on a very lean budget, more to do with ideas, more to do with how can we add value to citizens and help them to realize their own potential. How can we put more money in your pocket? You as a peasant farmer, what are the things we can do to make your life better? What are the things we can do so that you're producing your own food and enough of it that in fact you have a surplus? We want to be educated, we want to be prosperous, we want to be secure, and we want to be socially cohesive. My responsibility as a leader is to provide these communities with an avenue, a platform to actually debate them amongst themselves and solve the problems. The thing that gives me the biggest amount of joy is to see that I've made a difference. In the 4 years that I've been in office, we have put nearly 6,000 more pupils, more students into schools who are not previously going to school, even with free primary. We've done so by building nearly 150 classrooms, new classrooms. In the last 2.5, 3 years, nobody has died as a result of gunfights and so on, conflict, particularly between pastoralists. Before that, in a given year, we would have upwards of 100 deaths. And in the last 2.5 years, out of the work of Laikipia Peace Caravan, we have had no deaths. In the last 3 years, we estimate we have created somewhere in the neighborhood of 7,000 jobs. So, yes, we are achieving. Are we in Canaan yet? I don't think so. We have more work to do. We go to talk to young people, just to tell them who we are and where we came from. And many young people in that space of time have found their own selves, gone to university. I could tell you, we went to a place here called Dimcom, and the most amazing thing, after a couple of years of work, to get 17 youngsters going to university for the first time. I mean, this is a whole world. And there had never been anybody going to university. In 1 year, last year, we succeeded after a lot of work to get 17. And, you know, as you can well imagine, I was very excited. Politics and leadership are different. As a public servant, my responsibility is in fact leadership. As a Member of Parliament, my responsibility is leadership. Yes, we need politics, being that politics is a process of communicating ideas, of getting power, and therefore using that power. My own style is to sit with people in barazas, not to talk to them, but to discuss, to talk together and reflect on what solutions will fit our circumstance. I think that is the first thing. The second thing is communication, and to continue to look for ways to communicate the positive message. And in that also is innovativeness. It is about innovation, but it's also about creating institutions or anchoring those innovations, leadership innovations, in institutions so that those things will continue with or without Ndiritu. The leader himself, herself, has to be empowered, and they have to have a view. Why do you want power? There are far too many of us who cannot answer that question definitively. What is it that you want to do with this power? And in that, what? So some will call it vision and so on. But I think that's a key part of the leadership question.